Thank you so much for joining us this evening as we discuss all things UA92 with a focus on our 2-year accelerated degrees. So we are one of only a handful of institutions across England to offer an accelerated degree, and for the next hour you will learn all there is to know about accelerated, how it works, how to apply, and even meet current and past accelerated students. If you have any questions, please feel free to submit them in the chat below, and our dedicated team will reply in the chat. I'm joined today by Community Engagement Manager Karim West.
Thanks, Meg. Hello, and here is some housekeeping before we get started. We're recording this session so you can watch it back. Please use the chat box to send us your questions at any time, and we'll have a dedicated Q&A session at the end to answer any of your questions.
Anything that we don't cover, somebody from the team will get back to you. So before we get started talking about the accelerated degrees, Karim, can you please talk us through UA92 more generally, who we are, what we do, and how we are deliberately different?
Yeah, of course, Meg, thank you. So, University Academy 92, what an amazing institution. We like to pride ourselves on being deliberately different. So we're made up of 3 core factors of UA92. The first one, my favourite, is the class of 92. So the famous Manchester United footballers, Gary Neville, Paul Scholes, Nicky Butt, Phil Neville and Ryan Giggs. Okay, so they were ultra successful young players, young talented players that came together under Sir Alex Ferguson, and Sir Alex Ferguson said it wasn't just about talent, it was about people and your character, okay? And everything he taught them about resilience, goal setting, etc., and going out and being great people on the pitch, but also off the pitch as well, okay? And they've put that together and put it into a higher education institution, and that's what they want from every single one of the students at UA92. They want you to get an amazing degree, but also to be amazing people, because people buy into people.
Absolutely.
But they're not the most, let's say, educational. So what they've done is they've teamed up with Lancaster University, which are a top 15 university in the country, depending on what league table you're looking at. And Lancaster actually award all of our degrees at UA92. So again, it's a real recognisable degree once you graduate from UA92. So that's what you'll be walking away with. And then we have our industry partners who play a key component into everything that we do. So they've helped co-design our curriculum. So everything you'll be doing with us is what you'll be doing in the industry. So again, when you're leaving us, you're going straight into the real world and you're like, okay, well, I've done this in my first module, I've done this in my second module. And again, when you're going into interviews and ask you competency-based questions, you'll be ready for those because you'll be doing that throughout your time at your degree. Not only that, I mentioned before how we're deliberately different and how we like to pride ourselves on that. And the first thing that we do is you can start whenever you're ready. So we have 6 intake points. So we have September, November, January, February, April and June. We understand that students and applicants may not be ready to start with us in September, the traditional start point for higher education or even school in the UK. You've been through the whole school system of school, high school, college, sixth form, so you might want to go travelling for a bit, you might have some care needs, or you might try your luck at a job. So what we've done is we've opened up 6 entry points. So again, you can start throughout the year and you won't miss out on anything within a year because we have a module by module structure.
Structure, okay, not usually what you talk about with uni. Talk me through how that works.
Yeah, structure. So at UA92, we have 2 timetables. We've got a morning timetable and an afternoon. So you're either 9 till 1 or 2 till 6. So in each block, you'll know your structure. You'll know whether you're coming in at 9 to 1, and that won't change throughout the weeks. And then also we've got 2 till 6. So again, you mentioned before that you're an afternoon person.
Yeah, definitely not an early bird. Absolutely not.
Yeah, definitely, which would be different to me because I like to get out of the way, and do whatever I have to do in the afternoon, go to the gym or something. Yeah. So another thing that we have, which is my favourite, is the no traditional end of year exams.
Oh, yes, love this.
Definitely, I think this is one of the reasons why a lot of students actually come to UA92. The class of 92 aren't the biggest fans of exams, and neither am I. I always say to applicants, doctors don't save lives in exam rooms, so why should we do them? And do you know what? Everyone's always like, okay, so how do you actually pass? Like, is it a real degree? Like, what do you actually do? So what we do, like I said before, is we work very closely with our industry partners on what they'll be doing in industry. So what we've done is we've taken what they're doing and put that into the classroom. So you're getting real hands-on experience.
Because you're not doing exams when you're working, right?
Exactly.
Makes sense.
Exactly.
Okay.
So rather than sitting in a massive hall with your peers, writing down on a piece of paper and sort of like a memory test, we actually assess you on things that you'll be doing on a day-to-day life. You do some coursework, you'll be doing projects, you'll be doing group work, and that's how you're assessed on things that you're actually doing in industry. So when you actually go in to apply for a role, you can actually go straight into it.
Yeah, perfect. Because realistically, in an exam, so let's say that you're doing like sports coaching, writing down an exam, what would you do in a session? I'd much rather be assessed on actually doing the session.
Yeah.
That sounds too good to be true. It's actually brilliant.
Yeah, exactly. And that's another thing that the students are always saying, like, they find it a lot better and they find themselves more comfortable around knowing what they're doing and the roles that they're actually applying for as well, because they know that role. They know how to go in for that. Yeah. And it also gives them an advantage over anyone else going to another institution who are doing exams.
Yeah. And employers know that the students know what they're doing as well, because they help tell us what to put in the degrees.
Exactly.
Win-win for everybody.
Brilliant.
Perfect.
And then last but not least, we have our 92 programme. So I mentioned before about the class of 92 and what they learned on the Sir Alex Ferguson and how he helped them develop their character and personal development. So the 92 programme is that very thing. So it's building them up to be great people, also great academics, but what we've done is we put a focus on that because, like I said, people buy into people.
Absolutely.
Yeah? If you get a degree, you do amazingly. You get a first, I'm sure, Meg.
I'm an afternoon person, remember.
But when you actually go for a job interview, 20 other people have the same degree as you. What is going to separate you from the other 19 people?
Fair.
Yeah, it's going to be those people skills, your resilience, the things that you've picked up outside of the classroom, but also inside the classroom as well.
Yeah.
Okay, all of that actually matters. Say for me, for instance, the things that they learn on the 92 programme are things that I learned after I graduated in the workplace, and it was quite difficult for me.
Yeah.
I found it quite stressful having to learn these other key skills that I wasn't taught. Whereas the students are learning how to be resilient in certain places and how to actually understand how to overcome challenges, set themselves goals, set themselves targets. And this is what's going to push them further than someone else going to another institution, because we put that at the core of everything that we do.
Yeah. So where you had to learn that on your own, our students get support every single step of the way to become the best version of themselves.
Exactly.
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. That is an absolutely brilliant way of studying, isn't it? Like, I wish that was a thing when I was at university. I'd so go back just to do it in 2 years.
Definitely, I always say that, and the parents do too.
Oh, all the time at open days and things.
Literally all the time.
So let's get into Accelerator specifically, because UA92 is pretty special, but the Accelerator programme is pretty cool as well. So most universities only offer you the option to study a 3-year degree. But at UA92, we give you the option to fast track your degree and study our accelerated option in 2 years. So for anyone who isn't sure, when we say accelerated degrees, what we mean is a degree that you can complete in 2 years instead of 3, as simple as that. So Karim, a question that we get asked a lot is, well, how does it work? What is the university experience for the students doing the 2 year instead of 3?
Yes, of course. So all of our degrees consist of 12 modules in total. In a standard 3-year degree, you do 4 modules per year, and in an accelerated degree, you do 6 modules a year. It's as simple as that. Oh. The workload in each module is the same, but if you are studying an accelerated degree, you just have a slightly longer academic year.
Okay.
For example, if you started your degree in September, your year would end in July, so you'd actually have 6 to 8 weeks summer break, which is similar to...
That's what you get anyway.
Exactly, yeah. Your academic experience is the same as everyone else, with the same lecturers, classmates, assessments, and course content as well. So, again, same style of working. You just get to complete it in a much faster time and save money as well. Yeah. So we have 3 entry dates for accelerated, so it's September, January, and April. Okay. So you know how I mentioned there's 6 modules, 6 intakes at a time. We actually have 3 for the accelerated.
So you still get to choose when you start?
Yes, exactly. So literally you can start when you're ready.
Perfect.
For a UK student, tuition fees for the accelerated degree are £11,440 per year from 2025 to 26. Okay. As you're only studying for 2 years as well, you'll be paying £22,880. Quick maths there from me. If you were doing the same degree over 3 years, it would cost £28,605 in tuition fees. So you'd be saving around £5,725 in tuition fees. Yeah,
quick maths again, Karim.
Listen, so that's roughly 20%, but it gets better. You could even save more on things like an extra year of student accommodation.
Of course.
Or commuting to campus and parking costs as well.
So it ends up being quite a lot of money in the end, doesn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Plus, if you get a job straight out of uni, you'll have a whole year where you're working, you can earn alongside your studying as well.
So just a reminder that tuition fees are reviewed each year. So if you're not sure, please check our website for the latest fees that apply to you. Also a reminder that fees for international students are a bit different. Again, you can get a full list of the fees on our website. So not only are you getting a year's head start in the workplace, you're also saving money in the long run, right?
Exactly. So the accelerated program is great, but I'm sure you'd much rather hear from some people that have actually done it.
Yeah, absolutely. We're now going to be joined by two of our accelerator students who can give us first-hand views of their experience of studying an accelerated degree. So if you wouldn't mind introducing yourselves, what your degree is and when you started, please.
So I'm Arne. I'm a second year accelerated student in sports management. I started in September 2023 and will be finishing in July 2025.
Not long to go then.
Not long to go.
Yeah. So tell us about how you first started hearing about the accelerated degree, because it's quite a new concept.
Yeah, so I saw it immediately when I looked up UA92. So I heard about UA92 from my dad, a massive United fan. So when I started looking on the website, I immediately saw that there were accelerated degrees. So I was immediately on board. It was just about getting my parents on board because they were not. They thought it was going to be way harder.
Yeah.
So they thought a 3-year traditional degree will be the best way to go. But then I started explaining to them that it's actually not. It doesn't come on top of the 4 blocks that we do normally, but it comes at the end. And then in the end, they were on board as well. So that's probably how I heard about it.
Yeah, fab. So what was appealing to you about studying in 2 years instead of 3 years?
So for me, it was kind of, obviously I just come out of uni, of school, and going into uni, I just kind of wanted that continuance of school. School is obviously a bit longer than uni, so if you do the traditional degree, you end in like mid-April, I think it is. And I didn't mind doing another 2 years of ending in like July-ish time, because just a continuance makes it easier, and then I get out of uni a year earlier than everyone else I start with. So I've got a year really on them to start working, maybe go for my masters again, which I'll then both finish earlier than the ones I started with. So that was the main reason really, just that continuance, because I also didn't want a 5-month summer.
Fair enough.
Because I know I wouldn't be able to do. Well, I wouldn't want to do anything, and then I'll just get bored.
Fair enough. Yeah. At least you know yourself well enough.
Yes, exactly.
So it's as if like you wanted the same academic year as always, but doing it in less time.
Yeah,
a win-win.
Exactly. Win-win.
Fab. So in terms of like your experience, how have you found being an accelerator student? Because it is slightly different, but how have you found it generally?
It is slightly different. I mean, throughout the year, it's the same as every other student, until the other students, the traditional degree students leave in April because they finish for the year. And then it becomes a bit different because there's still, everything is going on, but obviously I play football, the football season is finished by then, but we still have, uni makes sure that we have turn up and play football, where Sam and I both have been playing every week, and that's really fun. And then obviously classroom sizes, they get a bit smaller, but I actually prefer that because it's even more one-to-one teaching than we already have. Like with our small class sizes throughout the year already, it's good. But then right now I'm in a class with I think 6 students that are doing accelerated sports management, which is, I really enjoyed that because it's basically one-to-one. The lecturer is basically one-to-one, and I really like that. I
mean, a really good way of getting all the support that you need.
Exactly.
And brilliant. So it sounded like, from what you were saying to when you were talking with your family before, did you have any worries about doing it in 2 years instead of 3? Doing the accelerated degree, doing something different?
No, I can't remember having any worries about it because, it clearly said on the website that it's just 2 blocks at the end of the academic year, meaning that it doesn't really make it more difficult, because having it at the end of the year, it doesn't come on top of anything else that I'm doing. It's still 1 module at a time, and UA92 delivered on that. I've not found it any more difficult than the traditional degree that I hear my mates are doing, obviously. So no worries at the start. Still no worries really.
Perfect. Especially because now that you're at the end as well,
Yes,
you really have experienced it from start to finish pretty much. Because especially in terms of having, like you say, it's the same workload. It's the same workload as you would if you're doing the 2 year or the 3 year. It's just a slightly longer academic year.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, perfect.
Perfect, thank you. And now, hard act to follow, but I'm sure you can, Mr. Superstar. Can you start off by introducing yourself, please?
Hi, my name is Sam Ogunbamiru. I study computer science accelerated. I started in April, so it's an April to April term. So yeah, that's about me, really.
Yeah. Are you sure? No.
It's not what we've got to say though, is it?
We'll go into that later. So how have you found being an Accelerate student?
I've loved it, to be honest with you. Very enjoyable. I mean, UA92 is a great place to experience that accelerated kind of feeling. You get a lot of support from the lecturers, you get even the people around, you get some friendly people. Obviously met Arne through football, and there's more people like him, so everyone's friendly, everyone's nice. With the degree itself, it's enjoyable. I mean, I don't think I'd want anything else personally. Yeah, I love it. I love the 2 years.
No, perfect. You kind of touched on it there about loving the 2 years, but have you found the sort of workload?
So at first, the workload is obviously different to your 3 years. You have a bit more time to take in more information, but if you're somebody like me that likes to be proactive, always doing something, I feel like the accelerator is the best thing because you're in 4 hours a day, 4 days a week. So you take in a lot of information, but it's vital information, and it's crammed down into a smaller chunk that's understandable compared to like your 3 years. You might be on the same topic for about 2-3 weeks, if that makes sense. So it's very, 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 very enjoyable. Okay,
and you mentioned workload there and balance. Do you want to give a little insight into what you do alongside your studies?
So I'm a musician as well, play Burna Boy outside of my studies as well. And it's a lot in terms of, obviously you have that side that's quite busy as well as educational side as well. But it just gets you to kind of mature as a man and understand the importance of time management. And at the same time, this is something I do want to do alongside Burna as well. So the accelerated program gives me the flexibility to manage both of them, if that makes sense. So the workload works perfectly for me. If you're somebody that's in my position that enjoys getting work done as well as having time to do what you want, I feel like it's the perfect program for you.
Oh, perfect. I love the way you just say Burna. I want to say for Burna Boy. Burna Boy, Grammy,
so humble
Grammy award-winning musician. It's funny because I actually went to the Burna Boy concert and I seen Sam's face on the big screen and I was like, he goes to United. I was like, what? And I think the very next day I must have messaged him on Teams and say, Sam, where are you?
So quiet about it. Talk about flying under the radar. I just never really mentioned it.
No, definitely. But what advice can you give possible applicants or anyone considering accelerated?
I think the best advice I'll probably give is you as an individual understanding why you want to do this program. The reason why I say that, as we talked about before, the workload is a bit more than compared to your 3 years, but once you know the reason why you're coming here, it motivates you even days where you do feel like, oh, this is a lot, but because you're naturally thinking about the reason you came, that's enough motivation already. So I feel like that would be the best advice I could give you. Understand why you're coming and let that be your sole like focus and motivation, really. So that's what I'd say.
Okay, perfect. So it sounds like you definitely recommend an accelerated degree then?
Most definitely. There's a lot of people even my age as well, even guys that I work with as well, that's kind of put off uni because of the long duration. The 3 years, sorry, so they feel like, okay, I'm about to spend 3 hours of my life when we're all young, we think the same thing, when I could make money in that time.
Definitely.
But realistically, this program gives you the flexibility of both. You get an education about 2 years, you don't feel it. I started last year, April, I'm finishing this year, so it's like, it feels simultaneously like I'm just going through the days whilst getting my education done. So if you're somebody like me that wants to get education done, as well as have the flexibility to work, this is perfect. You're in 9 to 1 or 2 to 6. You have enough time to do whatever it is you want to do after. So, and after each block you get a week off as well. So it also all just balances out perfectly for a mature adult or anybody that's looking to get into university and in a way get it done quickly.
Fair. So, some great points there. But we've spoken a lot about the good things about the accelerated. What's been the most difficult part for you?
I personally would say the initial step of understanding what's being required of you, if that makes sense. So when you're here, of course you're here for a purpose, you're here for a reason, so you need to understand what is required of you to achieve the best, if that makes sense. So for example, I cannot come in 9 to 1 and think, okay, that's my education done, because there's still work to be done to achieve graduation, which is what we all want.
Of course.
So that was the hardest thing at first, managing my time, as well as time for rehearsals and things like that. That was the hardest thing at first. But getting to the bottom of that, you realise, okay, this is good, and it prepares you for adult life as well, if that makes sense. So what I'd say was probably the hardest, but it worked out to be a blessing. So
definitely, I think that's one of the big points that we always try and tell some applicants or people that are looking to join university, that although your time is 9 to 1 or 2 to 6, you still got to put hours in outside of the classroom as well. But I guess you still get a better balance because you know you structure every single day, and you can sort of like plan your week a little bit better than say somewhere else. And we're one of the only institutions in the country to actually do the accelerated degree, so you've got that bonus of knowing your time, knowing your structure, and when you can actually plan your days.
Literally.
Okay, so on the flip side to that, what's been the best part other than meeting myself?
I think the best part on the educational side is understanding that lecturers do have time for you. Obviously, we're quite a small uni compared to your normal uni, so lecturers have more time, responses are quite quick. I don't think there's ever a time where I message a lecturer, even yourself, that I don't get a response quite quick, because I feel like lecturers, teachers, they have a lot more time and focus towards you, if that makes sense.
Definitely.
So I'd say that's been the best part. It doesn't feel daunting, as well as you meet lovely people here. Everyone's lovely, friendly, different ethnicities. So it feels like a proper, you're coming to uni, but it feels like you're coming to just chill with your friends.
Yeah, it's a community feel like
do you know what I mean? The lecturers don't feel like lecturers, they just feel like older brothers and sisters essentially. So it works out beautiful. It's beautiful. So I say that's the best part of coming to UA92.
No, I love that. Hearing you guys speak makes me want to go back to university.
Yes, same.
I always say to Gary, why didn't you make this many years ago? But yeah, no, it's one of those things, and thank you for those points there. I think was this your first time on screen? I know, Arne, you've done it before.
I've done it before, yeah.
But this time you did really, really well.
Thank you.
And you've represented the accelerated degree really well. So thank you for your
Absolutely.
time, and
Thank you for
you absolutely
having me.
smashed it.
Cheers.
Oh, so thank you to our amazing students. So if that hasn't convinced you, I don't know what will. So
Definitely.
if you now think that an accelerated degree is for you, well, how do you apply? So it's a really simple process. What we're going to do is we're going to talk you through the steps of applying now. So first step is always going to be choosing the right course for you. I mean, my recommendation will always be do your research, have a look on the website,
Definitely.
go to an open day, ask all the questions. If you're anything like me, you've got 1,001 questions.
Definitely.
So yeah, definitely do your research.
We've
and
got
find
some
the right
amazing
course.
academics as well that
Yes, we
can
do.
support on the open days and the applicant visit days. So yeah, definitely ask a lot of questions.
Yeah. If you're not sure, let's say that you're talking and you're kind of deciding between two different courses, have a chat with the academics. They're more than happy to kind of discuss with you and find the course that works best for you.
Definitely.
Next thing, as you were saying before, finding the right start date. So as you were saying before, we have multiple start dates, don't we? So there might be loads of different reasons why you might want to start later. September's not going to work for everybody. So finding the right start date. So just a reminder that for the accelerated, you can start in September, January or April, whichever one works best for you. If you're watching this currently and you're thinking, I want to get started in September, it's not too late. You can absolutely still apply. Next thing is always going to be, please check the entry requirements of the course. Have a look at the website. Again, we're going to refer back to the website always. Everything that you need is on there. If you're ever not sure, just ask somebody on the team. We're always more than happy to discuss anything with you. So if you're a UK student, you have two different avenues that you can go down. So you can either apply through UCAS or you can apply through us directly. So those two avenues have slightly different applications. So if you are still at school and you haven't completed all of your applications yet, UCAS is the one for you. So you register on there, fill out all your information, and then they will send your applications on your behalf. If you have, however, finished all of your education, you've finished all your qualifications, and you know exactly what grades you've got, then you can apply directly through us free of charge. Easy peasy. If you want more information on how to get a direct application form, you can, again, fill that out on the website. And of course, after that, student finance, the big one.
We love student finance.
We love student finance. We always get 1,001 questions about student finance. First thing will always be apply as soon as you can. So if you are wanting to apply for September, please get that started as soon as you can, just so we can make sure that everything is in place for you as you go. All the information that you need should be on the government website. If you're reading that and you're not sure, we have a webinar on this ready to go. If you head onto our YouTube channel, all the information that you need about student finance, how to apply and how it works is all on there. So that is everything you need to know if you are a UK student. Now I'll hand over to Karim to have a chat through all the international application bits involved. I will hand over to you.
Thank you, Meg. So, if you are an international student and not from the UK, you can apply directly to UA92. You'll need to provide a personal statement, your academic qualifications, and an English language test. Okay. If you're not sure if you meet our requirements, just reach out to one of us in the team. Once you meet all conditions, you'll need to pay a deposit, usually 50% of your first year fees, to secure your place. Depending on your country, you might need extra documents like financial evidence. Don't worry though, we'll guide you through it during the application process. And the email to catch us at are futures@ua92.ac.uk.
Absolutely, there'll always be somebody who's more than happy to help. If there's any part of this that you're not sure on, please do reach out. We're more than happy to answer any questions. So speaking of questions, here we are at the Q&A bit as promised. So first question that we get all the time is what support is available to accelerated students?
Yeah, of course. So similar to what the students were mentioning before on the accelerated course, it's exactly like being on a full 3-year degree, except you're just doing a little bit longer throughout the summer and you're getting it done quicker because you're doing it in 2 years. But again, you get the same academic support. Funnily enough, as Arne said previously, you actually get sort of more support because you're in a smaller class as well, say in the April and June modules. So again, you're getting more one-to-one time with your tutors, you get to focus more on your modules as well. So again, you're working with industry expert academics, but you're also getting that close time with them. So again, you're getting a lot more out of your degree than say someone at another institution where you're in a massive lecture theatre.
You could be in a lecture theatre of 300 people.
Exactly.
And no questions to be asked.
Exactly.
No one-to-one time with the lecturers. So yeah, in terms of most support, we're actually, so if you're doing your research, you will know that we are the most supportive university in Greater Manchester according to the National Student Survey.
Yeah, we are.
So if you want support, you know exactly where to come. So we talked before with the students about, there was a lot about other things that they were doing while they're here, and a big part, especially with when you were entering at the very beginning, was talking about the partners and talking about how we really try to apply what it is a student learn to real life experiences. What would you say, because you've been here for quite a long time, how would you say that employers view their 2-year accelerated degree?
Yeah, so I think employers definitely see it as a sort of bonus, a plus, because although we have the structure of the 9 to 1, 2 till 6, and we do one module at a time, it's sort of seen as like an add-on. They see the students want to come in and get the degree done and get straight into the world of work. And do you know what? Having that appetite to go straight into the world of work, the employers can see that and think, do you know what? That's someone that I want. Someone that's a go-getter. Someone that wants to come in, get out, get the degree, get it done. Okay, so it's shown as go-getter. They've also got great structure and great work-life balance because, again, they're doing a little bit longer, but they understand that at the end it's going to pay off because they can go straight into the world of work a lot quicker. And again, because we work so close with our partners are like, okay, they're ready to go straight in because they've put in the hard yards over the 2 years. Yeah.
Especially because we work with them so closely. A lot of our students actually end up getting to know our partners quite well.
Yeah,
and a lot of our students actually do end up being employed by some of the partners that they've interacted with, which is pretty cool if you ask me. So last question for you, Karim. Tell us more about the student life. What is it like for a student at UA92?
So students at UA92, I think a lot of students always describe it as being like a community feel.
Yeah, that's what Sam said before, wasn't it?
Exactly.
Really great review from him.
Exactly. There's a great energy around campus, and I think some people may have hesitations around doing something like the Accelerate because you heard Arne mention how the class sizes are smaller and there are less people in those months. Of course, as we go, those class sizes get bigger, but for now there's always something going on campus. So on a Tuesday and Thursday we have UA92 sports-led events. So on Tuesdays we actually have football. We actually had staff versus students football. We had staff versus the women's team and staff versus the men's team, and staff won both of those games on the Tuesdays. They did, yeah. And then we also have things like badminton, pickleball. I've never played that before, but it sounds good. And then we have loads of things like they have bingo, they have game societies going on, and some of the students that are still in the accommodation across the road, come over. So there's always things going on campus. We've got a great student experience team.
Yeah.
We always ask students to sort of come with ideas to start their own societies, etc. So there's always people around. Some students just come in for a chat with some of the academics or some of the staff. You'll always see me chatting to some of the students, especially the ones that work at Nando's for discount. No, but there's always something going on campus, and it is a real community feel whenever you come on. So yeah, there's loads to do, and as you know, Manchester's the best city in the UK for student nightlife.
Yes.
So even if you don't want to stay on campus, there's always other things to do around the city as well. You know, we're down the road from the best football team in the world, Manchester United. And there's also Lancashire cricket across the road, and the cricket season actually starts in the summer. So if you were studying accelerated and you were into cricket or wanted to even try your luck at cricket and have a go at watching it, the games start over the summer. So again, you can pop over there for...
Highly recommend. I'd never watched a cricket game until last year. Absolutely brilliant.
They're decent, aren't
They're
they?
absolutely fab.
I know.
In the sunshine as well. Because a big question that we get asked a lot as well is, do you have to like sport to come to UA92? And the question is absolutely no. The opportunity is absolutely there. So between all the sports teams that we've got, between all the opportunities that you have to go and watch different matches, but there, like you were saying, there's loads of gaming societies, there's bingo, the student experience team organise all sorts of different events as well. So it doesn't really matter what your interest is, there will absolutely be something for you.
Yeah, 100%. And the thing is as well, we always say, just push yourself out your comfort zone. So I even mentioned there how we have different sport events on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Say you're not very competitive within sport, it's not there to be competitive. Although I said we had staff versus students games, you can still come down, try your luck, just get involved to keep active. And again, with anything that we do, we always promote the students to come forward and just try new things. I think some of the students were doing sip and paint, where they
Yes, I saw that.
Yeah, they have a few drinks and they also do a bit of painting. That's something that I want to try. I've never done that before. So
really good fun. Highly recommend.
Yeah, exactly. So we're always encouraging students to do and try new things. So whatever you're into, feel free to come down and put out there for other students and meet new people.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Karim, thank you so much for joining me. It's been really insightful to learn all about UA92, everything accelerated related, and of course our fabulous students who've just been in to join us as well.
Thank you, Meg.
So next steps will be, of course, if you've signed up to watch this as we speak, we will email you a copy of the video to watch back later if you want to refer back to it. If you have any more questions, I promise no such thing as a silly question. Please do get in touch. You can contact us on futures@ua92.ac.uk. We have all sorts of open events coming up as well, so please have a look on the website and join us for any events that we've got coming up. And hopefully we will see you soon. Thanks so much.